Hey, it's Shawn and Geoff from the No Promises podcast. We're going to talk about today's latest, final episode of Season 7 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, which just happened literally 15 minutes ago. We just finished it. Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit slow in the beginning, but it was kind of explaining a lot, setting a lot up, and kind of tying up some stuff, too.
Yeah, it tied up a lot of loose ends. I guess we'll just, start from the beginning where they had, their little peace meeting between, Daenerys' army.
Yeah.
Or followers. And
you got Daenerys' followers showing up. So first that shows up is
Tyrion
Lannister and Momont. And all those guys show up with Unsullied and Grey Worm and everyone, showing their military. The Dothraki show up. And of course, Daenerys shows up
on her dragons.
Fashionably late on her dragons. Cool impact, you know what I mean? You could see that it got Cersei a little bit in the face. She was like, oh, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? And she Cersei kind of tried to play a thing where she was like, I'll join you, but...
Well, the reason why she wants to join them is because they finally show her the White Walker that they captured last week, which they struggled to get and lost a lot of people, as well as a dragon, if you've been watching. Because if you're watching this,
this is spoils.
Well, they should assume as soon as they open it.
But, it'll be labeled such, so it's fine.
Yeah.
If you've been up on it, dragon down,
dragging back up.
Dragging back up. So, so she shows up with her dragons and shows the White Walkers, which terrifies the shit out of everyone.
Oh, yeah, everyone.
You can see everyone's like, holy shit, okay. And I think one of the people it impacted the most that I thought it would the least was Jaime Lannister.
Yeah.
He was like, we're dead if they get to us, by seeing that. And the Hound kind of made a little example of him. Let it loose.
Normal weapons wouldn't finish him.
Yeah, gave him a lop across the stomach. Cut him in half.
Burned the hand, they'll only die from this, and burns the White Walker's hand. I almost said zombie. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. And then he takes out the... Don't give me that look. And then he takes out the dragon glass and then stabs it in the chest. And then he's
and that puts it down. Yeah, it puts it down. Puts it down
on it.
But he shows how to shut him down, but he also basically uses that as a pitch to Cersei, hey,
we can defeat him if we join together.
Right. And there's a common enemy, and basically, just the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know what I mean?
Whereas Cersei's
everyone's my enemy. Everyone's my enemy. I hate all of you. And but so it was a cool moment because you think for a second that Cersei's actually a fucking human being, which
she's gonna help out.
Yeah, which she is not a fucking human being. She's a snake of a person.
She's in it for herself.
Yeah, everything she does, there's some backlining thing. So her agreeing to it. First thing Geoff says is that's too easy. As soon as she did it, you know what I mean. And then she tried to throw out Jon Snow.
Jon Snow stays in the north and doesn't get involved.
Yeah,
he was like, no, fuck that.
Yeah, and he was like, I can't say I'll do that. So,
the peace treaty's off for a moment.
Yeah,
and then Tyrion's well, I'll go talk to her.
Yeah, which I think, and it's still, she doesn't really listen to Tyrion, but of all people, he's just I'm going to try it. You know what I mean? And he knows
always the persuasive one.
Yeah, I mean, he's the chatty Cathy anyways. He's the one that's always going around talking to everyone about everything.
Yeah.
Even though it may not work out the best in the end.
but he gets her to come back, and she's like, all right, I'll follow your armies up north and help you out, which she, secretly isn't going to do because she's a bitch. But, we move on from that. And we see,
there's a little bit of tear between her and Jaime going on because of this. So
it's you said you keep your word, and you're just being yourself again. And
And Jaime's basically pissing his pants over this thing going down because he continuously says, "We are dead." When the White Walkers get past Jon Snow and everyone, we're dead. You know what I mean? He was like, if the Dothraki and the Unsullied can't stop them, our army doesn't have a chance. You know what I mean? So, which is true. I mean, they show, like 2 episodes ago, the Dothraki was taking down like 3 or 4 to every one of, Jaime's
because they basically fight like barbarians.
Yeah.
Not like the savage kind, but I mean like the ways of old.
Yeah.
Like historically, they fought like barbarians. Wow.
That's all, folks.
Then we like kind of cut sideways to what's going on in Winterfell. The Stark sisters are set up to distrust each other.
Yeah, you think that Littlefinger or Peter Baelish has finally got Sansa
finally driven the wedge between the sisters.
Like, here it is.
They bring in Arya for the court martialing.
Right. And dude, Sansa looked so like, all right, yeah, I agree with you. And I was like, he got her, you know what I mean? But that's not the case. So
they pull a nice 180 and they're like, "You've been tried for murder and treason. What say you, Peter Baelish?" And he's like, "What?"
and I love how Arya just does a little like,
and the truth is revealed because of Bran. Bran's looks back and confirms all the bullshit that
Bran can just be like, whatever, nope, doesn't matter, you're lying. That's great. And he I think Bran became really weird as a person and a character in general because Sam Tarly comes back or whatever, and he's come to Bran, and he opens the door
and reveal the big secret that everyone's known forever, which is Jon Snow's true identity as Aegon Targaryen.
Yep, that's
the second.
I guess maybe. But this has been around for a while, so everyone's known it. If you watch the show and you research the show on top of watching it, you know. Or if you are on any social media,
or read the books,
if you read the book,
that's a thing.
If you read the books, it seems to be a little bit more predominant in the books. Which I'm not reading, but Cindy is.
But
so that's my reference.
Sam confirmed that he read about the secret.
That's what made it good. Is Sam knew something that Bran didn't.
Yeah, he's like, "Can you go back and confirm?" And he does.
He's like, "Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that shit went down." And it was awesome. I thought it was a good episode.
We finally came to a head. Everything is coming to a head.
Yeah.
The only final mystery we have is what's going to happen in season 8. What could happen.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into that.
Oh, yeah, and we had a little bit of incest that you didn't think it was.
Loose incest.
Yeah, loose incest. Dude, he boned his aunt. It's not loose. It may be loose. I don't know.
Well, back then, cousins was common.
Yeah,
Brother and sister frowned upon.
Cousins was common. An aunt.
If we were to compare to,
you know what I mean,
our history as humans, royalties.
If I lived in the time that it's referred to, and I had an aunt that hot. But we finally saw it though. It went down. It was full skin on skin, sexing up. So you seen it. It went down because for a second I thought it would be implied because they shut the door with both of them closed, and I was like, "Oh, it's implied." But they boned. They boned. It happened, and right when they said who he was, too. That's what makes it so great.
I was like, "Sean, hear the music. It's about to happen."
Yep, here it is. It's going down.
The music's too romantic.
Yeah, it was all of a sudden
maybe not that romantic. But the episode closes out with the White Walkers finally reaching the wall. And not only do they get to the wall, they fucking tear it down with the zombie dragon.
The zombie dragon, which now blows blue fire, which... Yeah. Is that ice fire or is that really hot fire?
I'm not sure.
Or would it change his ability to put flame hotter or colder? I don't know. Anyway,
they said something. I've never mentioned it in the podcast, but we've talked about it before. They said a line that we were watching random Game of Thrones things happening on YouTube because you were basically catching me up.
Right,
and
right,
the
yeah.
phrase that she said the one time, I was like, dragon is no slave.
And it came up again in this episode.
It came up again in this episode.
The dragon is no slave, and the Night King or whatever is riding a dragon at the end of this episode.
But I feel as soon as that dragon sees Daenerys, it's going to wake up.
Right. Is it going to snap out of it? Or are we going to see an epic dragon battle?
Just fall down dead.
Yeah. And she's just like, you know what I mean? And it's kind of weird because how does this work out anyways? Because it's a dragon. The only thing that kills White Walkers is flames. It breathes flames. How's this going to go out with it fighting other dragons? You know what I mean? Is it going to just be like
the dragon would be weak to other dragons, right?
Yeah, you would think. I don't know.
We'll have to find out.
Yeah,
but I'm excited about season 8.
Yeah,
just to see what happens. Because there's a couple unknowns going on right now.
Yeah.
We don't know what Jaime Lannister is going to end up doing.
Right.
I feel like he's going to team up with Daenerys and...
Right. And be a good like work, maybe work along with Momont and Grey Worm and make a really badass army.
Yeah. Or another unknown is Theon. Because...
Theon grows
Cersei
balls.
Claims,
for lack of a better term.
Cersei claims that she's made a collusion with him to like take the basically secure King's Landing as much as possible. But I don't know how true that is because he talks with Jon Snow and like they seem like they're building some kind of like allegiance. But, like, I don't know. Like, we'll have to see, like, whose true motives come to light.
We'll have to see, definitely how that goes.
Yeah.
There's...
I thought you said Balon.
Did she say
Oh, Balon. Yeah, Balon is the guy that's going there. That's why I was like, what, for a second? Yeah, sorry. Balon is the guy... the uncle,
the dude that got his ass beat on the beach, or
that's the guy. Theon is the guy that got his no.
You can tell I haven't watched enough to have everyone's name.
Theon's the guy that fought the guy on the beach. If you saw the episode, he fought a guy on a beach, and he actually grew balls, but he has none. That was the joke.
Took 3 knees to the groin. It was just like, that doesn't hurt me.
What's his name? Balon is the uncle that... When the dragon showed up and they let out the White Walker, he was like, I'm going back to my island because they can't swim. Okay. Really, what he's secretly doing is going to buy a mercenary group of people.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
So now Cersei is getting a bigger army, paying off mercenaries to work for her, and this shit's going to come to a crazy head next season. It's all that can happen. That's all I'm saying. And we got to see Peter Baelish's throat cut. We saw a lot
I wanted to see his head on a pike, but that didn't happen.
We saw a lot of loose ends. We're going to try to keep the video kind of short, but we saw a lot of loose ends tied up, but it still opened up more questions for season 8.
Like, it's something we want to see.
So it was a good episode.
Good finale. It definitely leaves me wanting more.
And we just want to talk a little bit about it because it was epic, and I hope everyone's seen it, because if you didn't and saw this...
Don't watch it yet.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, don't watch this. Anyways. All right, I think that's all for us.
No Promises Podcast. Check us out on Tuesdays, every other week, every week.
We're streaming on Thursdays now.
Streaming on Thursdays. You'll see us.
Bye.